What's going on YouTube? It's Dr. Dragonkick. Today I'm going to be talking about the 1 and the 4 ducat and how to determine if you have an original or a restrike. So the ducat was an Austrian coin with Franz Joseph I on the front, and on the back is the royal coat of arms of Austria. This coin was originally minted from 1872 to 1915. And there's some wording on the coin. It says in Latin, basically translate to Franz Joseph I, by the grace of God, Emperor of Austria, or Austrian Emperor, Austrian, not Australian. And on the back of it is, as I mentioned, is the arms of Austria, and it says King of Hungary, Bohemia, Galicia, Lodomeria. It's really acronyms, so it's hard to tell, but I think they used those back in the day. Ilya, Archduke of Austria. So this coin, a couple of the cool features. It's very ornate. There's lots of details here. So if you see a coin like that I have, this coin is in super good shape. You could probably guess right off the bat that this is a restrike. But if you wanted to be sure, you turn it around to the reverse. You'll look at the top left to the date, and if it says 1915, then it is almost 100% a restrike. Any of the other dates from 1872 to 1914 are most likely originals. Now, there should be in a little more circulated condition, but if they're not, they would command a pretty high premium. So a little bit about this coin. This coin has one of the highest purities of gold for a coin that was struck in the time period between 1870s and early 1900s. It has a 98.6% purity, and most coins back then, that's also almost 24 karat, and most coins back then were struck at 0.90 fineness, and they'll have a little more rose hue to them. Now, that other 90% gold, 10% copper, some silver was struck in them. But this one has 98.6% gold and probably a little copper or silver, maybe even some platinum or palladium, some whitening agent. The cool thing about this coin, the 1 ducat and the 4 ducat, obviously not obviously, but they are divisible. So the 4 ducat is 4 times larger than the 1 ducat. The 1 ducat is 0.1107 ounces, and the 4 ducat is a 0.4438 troy ounces. Now, the 4 is such a huge coin. Let me see if I have anything to scale. All right, so to put this thing into scale, I have a US quarter, pretty standard, and you have the 4 ducat next to it. It is huge. It's a massive coin. However, if you turn it on its side and you look at it, you can see that the 4 ducat is a very skinny coin. A lot of people refer to this as a wafer coin, and the 1 ducat is a little thicker, but it's about the size of a Lincoln penny. I have it in there, but again, the atomic weight of gold is much more than copper, so therefore it's going to be denser. It's going to be a little bit skinnier than the penny. These are cool coins. Again, this one has 0.1107 ounces of gold, so slightly over 1/10 of an ounce, and then this guy is 4 times as large. So it's a lot of good gold content. And there was proof versus non-proof. If the fields are very reflective, a lot more than the person there, Franz Joseph, then it's potentially a proof in the old days. The final thing I'm going to say is that the 4 ducat was a lot more rare. It's hard to get such a big, half an ounce of gold into a coin. And so when you do find some of the years, they may only have 5,000 copies versus the 1 ducat. There were plenty of years that had 800,000 or 200,000 or 300,000 copies of the coin. So it is a lot more rare to get a 4 ducat original than a 1 ducat original. And that's pretty much it. I will reiterate, so again, these were minted 1872 to 1915. If the date says 1915, then it is a restrike, and those restrikes have been struck all the way from, I guess, 1920 all the way to 20. Probably some are still struck now. The original dies are cast, are still available, but definitely by 2018 they were still making some of these, and I'm assuming that they still produce a certain amount every year. But thanks for watching, and take good care.